everybody. Welcome to my channel, Be Free Now with Maria. So today I want to talk about how to use our projections to expand. So projection is when we attribute our thoughts and feelings to somebody else. So in other words, we're not feeling good about ourselves and we think they think something negative about us. But the reality is that we don't really know what they're thinking. We are feeling bad about ourselves inside. In other words, we're not feeling good about ourselves. So we then think they're having these thoughts about us. But in reality, it's our thoughts that we are having. So in order to use our projections to expand, right, we have to change the way we see ourselves. In other words, what we believe to be true about ourselves. Because if we believe bad things about ourselves, negative things, and we let the inner critic run amok in our head, then we're going to hold ourselves back, right? And we're going to think that other people are thinking things and feeling certain way about us when it's not necessarily the case. We are the ones that are having these thoughts. We're the ones that are not feeling good enough, and we are projecting this onto somebody else. Now, that's not to say that there aren't people who will have negative thoughts about us, but when they do, we wouldn't be thinking about that, And when they do, the other thing that's important to know is that we're not necessarily going to personalize that, right? Because we don't see ourselves like that. So therefore, that's not really about us. That becomes then about them. It's clearer to us, right? We can see that. And there's a great shift right there, because now instead of walking around, right, having these thoughts about our negative thoughts about ourselves and thinking that these people are having these thoughts about us, we're not in that dynamic. We're in a different dynamic. But that is a dynamic that needs to be cultivated. In other words, that's a mindset that we have to cultivate. And it's a daily practice. It's not something that you do overnight. But I share this with you because we easily get caught up into this. And what ends up happening is that when we're caught up into projection and into projecting our thoughts, right, and we don't realize that we're doing it, we're ultimately going to create sad feelings for ourselves, but we're also going to feel trapped. And sadness and trapped because we aren't feeling good about ourselves and we don't really know what to do and how to get out of it. In other words, it's just kind of like become this normal automatic story or way of thinking within our mind, right? When I say story, like we have this way of thinking and then we're constantly stuck in the same story and dynamics and not feeling good about ourselves. But when we start to shift in how we see ourselves, then a big change happens, right? We're not going to feel as sad when we're seeing ourselves as amazing, great, and so forth, right? And one way, to do this, right, is to start understanding who we are as people, and who we are from a spiritual perspective. In other words, as people, yes, we're living in these human bodies and we're having these lives. But from a spiritual perspective, right, there's something else going on, which is that we have this divine side to us. But it's not really our divine side. It's our essence. It's our wholeness. But when we don't really connect with that, right, when we're not really hooking in or, connecting on a daily basis to that understanding and really functioning from that end, then we're going to find ourselves feeling trapped in the human experience as opposed to expanding into our wholeness, coming into that wholeness by questioning what we've been thinking about ourselves and believing to be true about ourselves and what else could possibly be true about us, right? In other words, are we even divine? I mean, I believe that we are, but not everybody does, and I get that. But when we sit with ourselves, right, when we attempt to connect with our inner knowing, our intuition, we start to notice that there's something more going on than just these physical bodies, right? That there's something else energetically that plays a role here. And the more we connect to that, right, then the more we can see our divine self. And when we see our divine self, then we're going to think better things about ourselves, right? We're not going to see ourselves as small beings who are limited. Instead, we're going to see ourselves as more expansive. We're going to truly believe that we are supported. And that doesn't necessarily mean, right, that things are always going to go the way we want them to and that we're never going to experience hardships or emotional distress, but that we're not alone, and that we have this support, and that support lives and breathes through us. It's a part of us, it's part of everything, right? And we start to really connect with this oneness as opposed to this fragmentation within us, and these negative thoughts, and accepting these negative beliefs and having these negative thoughts about ourselves, right? Because we've been living life a certain way, or understanding life through a certain lens, when there's a broader lens, right? When there's more going on. And it's not until we are willing to sit with ourselves, really connect with that feeling. And when I say sit, I'm not literally meaning like sitting down, it's many ways that we can take time to feel, the energy around us. I mean, we can look at a flower and, connect with its energy. So we don't necessarily have to sit in a deep trance or a deep meditation. We can go on a walking, we could go on a stroll, a walk or something, just sit outside, feel the breeze. And you can, connect with the energy around you. So, but what this does, right, is that it's helping us connect with more than just the tangible. Because when we're just connecting to the tangible, we're forgetting and ignoring that energetic part to us and to everything that surrounds us. Because that energy then transfers into tangible experiences. So before I go any further, I'm going to pick a word from my bag of words and see what else I'm inspired to share. And oh boy, I picked up a few. Now I got 4 in my hand. Okay, I don't know. Let me see. Oh geez, I got 5. Oh, so I have beautiful. Okay, let's see what else. Beautiful, embarrassed. Okay, I got to lay these out because these are a lot of words. I felt like putting them back in. Well, that was my thought actually, but I felt different. I thought about putting them back in, but then I felt like that's not a good idea. Let go. All right, so we have beautiful, embarrassed, let go, anger, and breakthrough. Okay, so let's see. We'll start with anger. Anger, I'm going to start with that because when we really connect it too heavily and too deeply into the physical world, it is very easy to get angry. Anger is just easy. Is the only way I can say it. I mean, at this moment, I guess, we get really caught up in the physical realm. We get stressed out, and it's easy for us to fall into, that angry space. And also, when we think about what isn't good in our lives and so forth, we tend to get angry. So that's an easy emotion to tap into when we really connect it to the physical realm. And embarrassed. Okay, so embarrassed is something that, yes, we can feel very easily when we're not feeling good about ourselves, right? When we're not feeling good, it's easy for us to feel embarrassed and, feel this yuckiness inside. But when we are feeling better about ourselves and we are seeing ourselves as more expansive, then we're also more patient and more gentle with ourselves. And we're not going to be easily embarrassed. In other words, it doesn't mean that there may not be like, a mess up or a hiccup, but we're going to be like, okay, cool. We're not necessarily going to feel so embarrassed. Or if there's something bigger, that happens, then we can shift, right, from that feeling of embarrassment a lot faster, because we can just also choose to say, it's okay. Like, I'm okay, just because this happens and I might have looked foolish, or people might have laughed, or people might have not agreed with me, and so forth. It's okay. I'm okay, right? And we can balance back a lot faster when we're seeing ourselves from more from expansive lens, as opposed to just, oh my goodness, what are they gonna think, and what's gonna happen, and we go into that, worry-like state. And so let go, I guess I'll tie that into let go. And let go, is something that frees us. When we start to let go and we start to shift, then we start to feel lighter and it starts to free us, right? So we let go of the physical and we spend more time connecting with our own energy and the energy that surrounds us, so that we become more aware of it and feel, lighter inside and more flexible at the same time, right? Because like I said, now we're not going to be stuck on, feeling embarrassed. It's easier for us to shift. And through this breakthrough, through this work, right? And through understanding all of this, we do have a breakthrough, right? So, and through this breakthrough, we're going to feel more beautiful, more amazing, more freer, and we're going to have a much more beautiful experience, in this lifetime, because with a lighter heart, we are going to feel better. And that good feeling transfers into all aspects of our lives. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to feel better and only I benefit. No, everybody around us benefits. And all aspects of our lives benefits from this good feeling, right? So we're going to feel good, and we might even see ourselves as more beautiful, if we're having an issue with the way that we look. Because when we're having an issue with something, it's because we are stuck in a thought about ourselves, and it's usually a negative thought, right? If we're not seeing ourselves as beautiful. But when we are feeling good inside and feeling more accepting of ourselves, then our imperfections, or the way we were seeing ourselves, starts to shift, and our imperfections aren't such an imperfection. In other words, it's like, it's okay. This is just the way it is right now, right? This is the way my body is looking and presenting at this time, and it's okay, right? If we want to change something, we can, but we don't necessarily have to. It really comes down to just accepting, right, the way we look, the way we feel, right, and going along with that. And when we're feeling good about ourselves, then and accepting about our parts, then other people are accepting of that as well. It just opens up this opportunity for other people to accept us, because a lot of times we're our own hardest critic, our own worst critic. We're the ones who are tearing ourselves down, and other people are like, really, I don't really see you that way. And it's not that they're making it up, they really don't see us that way. It's we're the ones who are having the thoughts, and we're the ones that are seeing ourselves that way, and we're the ones that are projecting these thoughts onto other people, right? They don't think I'm pretty. Well, they will only not think that if I don't think that. It made me think of something that my mother used to say when I was a kid. She said in Spanish, but anyway, the thing is that how does the phrase go? So let me see, I'm going to translate it, which is, right, for different tastes you have different colors. That was it. So, right, so for different tastes you have different colors. So yes, somebody may not, necessarily be so attracted to the way you look, or may not see you as beautiful, but that doesn't mean that somebody else won't, right? For different tastes you have different colors, and it's all good, right? But we have to believe that we're good and stop projecting these beliefs and thoughts onto other people, and these feelings onto other people. So I'm going to end with that. I hope that helps, and have a beautiful day. Bye for now. And last but not least, wait, I almost forgot to say, if this video helped you in some way, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that you're updated and notified when I post a video. Bye for now.